So, well, when you work a lot, like, and you don't really see people, and so on and so forth. You kind of, you push you. What's the right way? What did I tell Wong a while back? More so, you I got to where we were as a company with the university, and the success that we had, and the success that I had as the product manager was something that nobody that they haven't ever seen. So long story short, and we all know that when you're doing a great job, you want to keep doing a great job. But I got that a little to my head, and kept pushing myself to the point that literally, if we had these, if I would, if I had a smallest conversation with either my franchise owner or with somebody just in general, I would quickly snap, just
Ooh.
because it was not the pressure and not the complaints, because we end up with no complaints throughout the whole season. But it was just the fact that what I say is how I want it to go. Even though how it's structured, the franchise owner is the boss when it comes to their employees. So I have to, go to the franchise owner, hey, can you X, Y, and Z and do this, that, and something else? It's not like when I was managing the ballpark, or, the school district here locally, or
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. My I was getting I was becoming egotistic. My ego was getting the best of me. And so I would easily snap at the most stupidest stuff. And so it got to the point that my OCD then kicked in. Well, then I kept pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself, to the point that there was one game, it was a South Carolina game on October 19th. I literally pushed myself, Dan. I'm, honest as God's my witness. I had 7 energy drinks that
Oh.
day. 7. And
Oof.
they were Celsius, but it was the fact that it was 7.
Yeah.
I think I can do 4. I'm pretty all right. I know they're not good for you regardless, but I
I
can do
can't do
that
more
much.
than two. I can't do more than two anymore because I get screamed at by my fiance. So I get screamed at by you, babe. I know you're watching.
But no, I mean, it was to the point that, dude, I would hardly eat, and it was energy drinks, or vice versa, or whatever the case might be. And so there was a time that we got stuck with an unfortunate situation that led to me working 36 hours straight, and being up for 38 hours, and so on and so forth, dude. It was the success that I had, and the success that we had as a team. At towards the end, it was yeah, we all want to be right there, like, oh, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, as they always say, the light at the end of the tunnel. Literally, dude, I let that get so bad mentally to my
Yeah.
head, that I was to the point I would do anything and everything to make sure we had what I would call a perfect season, so to speak. And it led me to isolate myself. And I've had these conversations with Wong and Herman Raj, and even when Herman Raj came down for the OU Alabama game, which, by the way, all you Alabama fans, we broke you. Um, just so you know. But but anyway, um, but no, I mean, it's and even when Herman Raj came down, and we talked at the in Norman, and so on and so forth, and like, I flat out apologize. I'm gonna do the same thing towards you. Is I apologize. I'm going to apologize to you. Is I wasn't that great of a person towards the end, from August to November. Pretty much, I was isolating myself,
I hear
and
you.
it got to the point, like, I even told my boss, I don't have the balls to think about suicide. I don't,
No.
because with my luck, first of all, wholly, I would screw that up. I would screw everything all up, and I will still make it through. But to sit here and say that thoughts haven't been in my mind, maybe not suicidal, but to isolate myself to where down the road, if that was an option, I would have pulled the trigger on whatever that could have been.
In
I
that
was
case, you did the
isolating
right
myself
thing. In that
so
case, you did
bad.
the right thing by cutting the drinking out today. So
and that's where exactly, and that's where the energy drinks came from. Was it was the non-point, the non-stop grind of the
Mm-hmm.
work, and yeah, it can get grinding. But I was pushing myself to the point that a lot
You
of
bu-
it was unnecessary grind, if that
you
makes
burned yourself out.
sense. Hmm.
You burned yourself out really fast, and and there's nothing wrong with going hard, and
Right.
there's nothing wrong with going hard in the paint. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Um, back at my job, there was a point in time where I was working from 7 o'clock in the morning and from 6 o'clock in the morning sometimes until 6 o'clock at night. I was doing 12 hours, 11 hour
Yep.
days, 10 hour days most of the time, which is not bad. Like the 10 hour days are not that bad.
Nah,
But
they're
then, but
doable.
then, but then, baby Megan would tell me, is like, you're getting a bit of an asshole. You're becoming a bit of an asshole. And I'll say, I'm burnt out. And I would need to tell my bosses here, and they're like, no, I need to take the afternoon to myself, blah, 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 which there's nothing wrong with putting yourself first. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just, it's ingrained into our heads as,
Hmm.
not to get too masculine or anti-feminine here, but, it's ingrained to us as men, suck it up.
Yep.
Just suck it up.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and I'm sure you can speak to that as yourself. I can speak to that on my end. And there's nothing, and you're seeing it a lot more where you're starting to see guys, especially just going, hey, I need some time to myself here and there. I'll do that. I'll do that even. I'll tell some people like I need some time to myself, or I need time with Megan, blah blah blah. Like I'll spend time with the family. I'll go to
Hmm.
the beach here and there. Like I'll do stuff that makes me happy and stuff like that. And you're doing, you know, I don't know what else you've been doing that's been helping you out and stuff like that. But to come on here and say like, yeah, you've had some like shitty thoughts, it's fucking ballsy of you to say. And this is a comfort zone. You know that
Oh, absolutely.
this particular program I like to call the Comfort Dojo, as you have known for years. So, and Matt Mish was on here a few months ago, and
Hmm.
he talked his story. And that was a fun time. That was a really good time. But there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself in the long run. But there's also nothing wrong with, hey, I need to go work my ass off in order to get what I want. Nothing wrong with that at all. And sometimes even as people, we fail to find a balance between work and life. That's hard to
Absolutely.
do. That's
Well,
hard
it
to
is.
do. It's hard to do, man. And for you to keep going and just say like, "Holy shit, I've been just isolating myself." That's
Well, yeah, because it got to the point, and so everybody knows out there, I'm perfectly fine mentally. Never did I had
I
thought
know
of
you are.
suicide. In that's when people go out there. Oh, Mike's no, I'm good. Trust me, I'm good.
I know you
Um,
are.
but um, but no, dude, it got. I mean, it got really, really bad, and I kept telling Wong, a friend of ours, Jimmy Wilkinson, a former OU great and former Chiefs player as well, passed away unexpectedly a few weeks back. And so,
Oh shit.
I text Wong and I asked him if this was true. He said, yeah, and so on and so forth. And, and, you know, the friendships I form with you and Wong, Coach George and Herman Rod, and the list goes on, is genuine. And like I told Wong, I said, hey, I'm sorry, and literally I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And Wong's a good dude. I love that dude to death. And so,
He's such a good dude.
oh, he's legit.
For those who do not know, Wong Lam of the Defining Moments podcast, he's a fucking G. He is such a genuinely great dude. And if you ever need like someone to go talk to and he will give you a brutally honest fucking opinion of what you are doing with your life, he will tell you. He
Oh,
will tell
absolutely.
you. Absolutely, with no questions asked. So,
No, he's a good dude, and I kept telling him I'm sorry, but we're gonna catch up and all this, and no, so long story short, it's just I isolated myself. Literally, I let the success that we had get to the point to where everyone can literally weight on me at this point, if that makes any sense. Means,
Yeah, it does.
yeah, hey, let's talk about X, Y, and Z. Yeah, but then I'm like, I'm focusing on what I want and this, that, and something else. So anyway, it was a hectic from August to November, and December was kind of busy, but not as busy. And so I had to take my 2 weeks of vacation and came at the right time. So I get to go back to work tomorrow, and
Hey, there you go.
but it won't be as hectic as it was